There's no lights on the road. So like once you're in Joshua Tree at nighttime, baby, you're Ray Charles. You're Ray Charles. Hey guys, welcome back to Is It Tuesday podcast. I'm Cris Cavallari. Baby, one thing these braids gonna do is choke you. Um, but the kids on TikTok gonna keep us hip, keep us, just TikTok in general, because there's some old ladies like myself on TikTok doing like great things. So I'm just saying, but the kids gonna keep us hip. So I found this braider. I was looking for a braider and I got on Instagram and I was like, oh my God, yes, I want these braids. And I clicked. And let me first say this. Your price is your price. My price is my price. This is not a debate of a price, right? But I got online and I seen somebody charging $1,800 for some braids. And I was like, even when you can, it doesn't mean you should. I now listen, if it's some extensions and it's lasting like a year and it was like something, but braids, bitch, where the new growth gonna get lint around it, the braids might still look nice, but the top is just it's not giving 1,800 for 3 months. It's just 5 months. It's just not. But I got on TikTok and these girls was like, oh, y'all keep sleeping on the Africans. Now listen, where I live at, the Africans still braid the way the Africans braid, okay? Like the way your mom, excuse me, let me not say the Africans, because they don't braid like that. But the braiders in Wilmington, where the knots is too close or it's a knot and it's like, you know how your mom braids used to be. Shit, your braids used to be like that. I don't want them braids. But the Africans in Philly, the ones that's keeping up with the trend, they know the knotless, they know the bohemians, any length, any size, starting at 250. I ran for my life. I ain't grabbed no shoes or nothing. Like when I tell you, I woke up, it was raining. Goliath was away for spring break and it was raining. I'm like, oh, I don't feel like I just want to go get my hair braided. I wanted to go to Texas to get my locks back in, but I just didn't have time. And not that I didn't have time, I just felt like this. If I go to Texas for 2 days, Goliath's only gone for 5 days, I'm going to be swamped. So I did the best thing that was for me, which was stay local, get it braided, still get all your work done, still get some rest, have some alone time, still, just don't burn all your days. Like you got to make sure what's the best fit for me. So I ended up just saying, you know what, I'm gonna just go to the Africans. I've seen them on TikTok, all the young girls talk about them. Oh yeah, y'all gotta go such and such, y'all gotta go here, y'all gotta go here. I called. They said come at 12. Baby, I ran. Like I said, I ran. I was only in there for 5 hours. It was $250. Now I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. Do me a favor. No matter the cost of the service, and I know that this is gonna be like a little like, huh? If somebody, well, first of all, if you charging me 1,800, that is your tip. Let me go back. That is your tip. I don't have a tip for you. But if you're going somewhere and they're charging you $250 for something, you would have paid more. You would have at least paid $5 or $6, right? I feel like that's the most I'm paying for some braids. Maybe, yeah, like $6. I'm especially if they're locks. I paid a little over that, but they lasted for 5 months. But 18, crazy. So when I got my hair braided and I stood up, first she said like thigh would be, I'm like, okay. I said, oh, when I come back, I want them like to my calf. She was like, oh, 500. I said, okay, I'm gonna come back. When I stood up, they was already at my calf. I don't know if she noticed it. I don't know if I looked taller, whatever the case may be. So when I went to get the money out, only thing is you have to go get money out the machine, blah, blah, blah. So I go and I'm like, this is pretty long. This is probably 500. So I just say I'm gonna take out 500, right? I go and I'm like, how much? She said 250. I'm standing up. She sees the length. She's 250. I gave her the 250, but then I gave her $80, and the young lady that was helping her, I gave her, I think, $60. The way the young lady that was helping her, she didn't speak English, was so happy. I knew for a fact. First of all, if y'all charging this, then maybe this is why the girl price is justifiable. But she was so happy to just get a tip. And I was just thinking to myself, like, they working in somebody else's shop. So I don't know what they getting paid, but tip those people. Tip the people. I'm not, like I said, I don't mean no harm. I know this sounds crazy. This is kind of like, wait, what? I'm not tipping you if I paid $1,800. I'm not. Especially in the back of your room. I'm not. If you want me to take your business serious, you got to take it serious. And not to say that you can't braid in your house and it's not taken serious, but how are you? What are we? I'm sorry. It's almost like people that don't want to pay for content for their business, but then they steal your photos and be like, no. You got to invest in your business. You got to invest in comfortability. You got to invest in all of these things. If product shots and this, that, and the third, you're not about to charge me $1,800 and I'm sitting on a crate. Not to say that was the case, but I'm just thinking out loud, clearly, because I'm here. But I just don't see me or anybody not coming to a space where they're offered like something to drink, a little snack, make it make sense. Make me say, damn, when I'm spending this money, this is what comes along with it. Not somebody with an attitude that got to stop it. None of that. Just no. But I'm not tipping you. So there's that. So my braids are super long. And like I said, I gave this lady this tip and she was so happy. I felt like that was a little mean. I wasn't me trying to be mean, y'all. I really wasn't. I think that was my lower self, like just being like, bitch, what? Because like I said, your price is your price, but make it make sense. That's it. Have your content, have a space for the person to come, offer a refreshment, something. But I just don't want to be beating the head and I don't get nothing. Or you only charging people this because you follow them and you like, I think Ming said that. Shout out to Ming Lee. I think she went to get nails done or something done. And because it was her, the lady boost that price up like booyah, like bitch, I really charge $35, but for you it's $3,500. I don't like that. I got out here anyway to tell you something. I was just on live and I just wanted to stop in to say hi. I'm fresh off of a trip, which to me, at this point in life, anybody that's an entrepreneur, and you have a clothing brand, a hair brand, something, a product. Anytime you go on vacation, that product should be with you. So I just jumped on live real quick on Instagram and I'm just like, just tapping in. I am the lady in the hills. I'm in the woods. So, but I still love to come down for my bread and butter and just say hello and whatever. So I get on and they're like, oh, what you talking about? My homegirls, my tribe. Oh, I think social media, because my tribe has been able to find me, to connect with me. And sometimes there's people that come that ain't a part of the tribe or the tribe changed or whatever the case may be. But I think that the more you let go of small little things, the people with the purpose that need to find you will find you. And I'm just down there. Somebody's like, oh, we're talking about the trip that I just was on. And I'm starting to be an influencer because I'm like, if you want to know about the trip that I'm on, you need to go to YouTube and follow me on Is It Tuesday podcast, because it's just kind of like, let's shift. We're shifting gears. But you see how with the braiding thing, that is the same thing. That's, growing in a different way, giving a service in a different way. But we spoke about the trip that I was on and I'm like, oh, y'all gonna have to get on Is It Tuesday, because that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about traveling in groups, traveling with a significant other, solo travel. If you've been here for a while, you know that Tuesday used to be my day. I would just get up, go to Miami, get up, go to New York, get up, go to Atlanta, somewhere that was close enough for me to get back in time on Wednesday. At that point, it's not that I was escaping anything. But I was nursing myself back to my reality. I was remembering who I was. I was showing up. I was getting dressed up. I was going on dates by myself. I would never go out to a club, but I was always like somewhere, right? So I am forever thinking I'm going to stay a solo traveler. I enjoy traveling with others, but I have to go and be able to sit alone for a little bit. Or if we're on a trip together, I have to be with people who are not stage 5 clingers, feeling like every bit of the day, y'all got to have an itinerary, y'all got to have a this, y'all got to have a that. It's got to be a plan. It got to be color coordinated. It got to be all these things. Vacation is to be meant to relax. I don't want to overwork when it comes to that. So solo traveler, or the space to have an hour to myself. May not be daily, maybe daily, I don't know, but some time to myself. So I just went on a trip. I was in California in Joshua's Tree. It was my first time. I almost had an attitude because I ordered some products from Magic. I went to Magic in New York a couple weeks prior. Maybe 2 months actually. And they were like, oh, it's going to be ready by this time. None of the things that I've ordered was actually ready. Nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean absolutely nothing. I've ordered merchandise for this trip alone. I'm like, the desert? Okay. Okay, I want to utilize this space that I've never been in, that I know is aesthetically pleasing, that I know I could get content in. Although it's not going to take away from what I'm really there for, this is business. Like, I could use these things. I'm not coming back here next month. So I gotta make sure that when I come, I'm at least being intentional. If I'm doing pictures and things like that, that it makes sense. That this is a new ad for my brand. This is, some content, some reels, life coaching. It's, I could sit on the balcony and I'm journaling, but my journal is really with me. This is not something. Shout out to that lady with these long ass braids. And I want them longer. This is not a missed opportunity. So I ordered all of my merch 2 months in advance. None of it came. Still not here. I've been home for 4 days now. Merch is still not here. But instead of being like, oh my gosh, I'm like, wait, I still got, this is about to restock. This is about to stop. This, no big deal. No big deal. I get there and I'm in great company, and the space is giving me Mykonos. The space is giving me, this is the type of yard or layout that I wouldn't mind if I purchased a home. I love that the master bedroom is near the swim out pool, and I love that there's a cover that goes over. That was my favorite part. But then I started having anxiety slightly about it. The pool and jacuzzi had a cover, and it just like, instead of you trying to, somebody hold this, and it just a button and it just closed up. And I was like, damn, like, I like that. I like that. I like that. That's what I want in my home. I want a pool that has a electrical cover. And then I got a little anxiety because I was reading, and the house manual is like, oh, make sure no one's in the pool. Then I'm like, oh my God, somebody could be swimming and you could close it. It tried to sneak back in, and I'm like, no, before we close the pool, we will make sure everybody's out the pool. It's like, instead of overthinking it and getting into a place of fear, I thought about it like, now, why would we not double check? I mean, I know life happens and we're moving fast and this is going on and this is going on. But if that is something that is a possibility, we would just take the steps to make sure that doesn't happen the best of our ability. We wouldn't be out there drinking. We wouldn't be out there a little high. We'll be out there alert and just very on point. That was the best part of the house, in my opinion, was the pool and the view, the mountains. And I was like, how funny is it that I've been saying for the last 2 years, like, oh, I live in the woods, oh, I live in the mountains, oh, I live in the hills. And I'm waking up and I'm seeing nothing but hills and mountains. And at first I was like, oh, it's going to be dark at night. And I'm like, bitch, you ain't leaving outside, to go out anywhere. There's no lights on the road. So like once you're in Joshua Tree at nighttime, baby, you're Ray Charles. You're Ray Charles. You're Ray Charles. Like you ain't seeing shit. I'm sorry. I did say Stevie Wonder because Marsha Ambrosia just said Stevie Wonder is really not blind because how would he know there's a ribbon in the sky? Anyways, I'm just in a great, like I feel like shaking. I feel like that was what I needed. That's how I need to go on a trip. I don't need to go on a trip and turn up so much that I need to come home and relax from the trip. That trip and the trips before that have all been like that. I'll get somewhere and I'm like, yeah, we gonna go out. Maybe I'll be in bed. I'll be like, 10:30. Oh, it's late. I have the most fun when the sun is out. And that's where I get my power, my umph from. That's funny. I just realized that I feel the most alive in the sun. But we're on this trip, having a beautiful time. Although none of my merchandise got here, I still had plenty of merchandise from my brand Icon. The Davenport set is the Davenport top and the Smith skirt, is not, it's a set, but it's separately. Because motherfuckers is really hippie at the bottom, smaller at the top. Some people are bigger at the top, smaller at the bottom. Doesn't matter, but you can mix and match the size. I'm like, oh, this item's about to restock. I'm going to bring this with me. This is a sample thing that's going in production. I'm going to bring this with me. And only by God alone. This one photographer who I had the pleasure of working with twice. One personally for me, first a Tuesday shoot, and then I had worked with her again for Goliath's birthday photo shoot. And it was so crazy that I was watching her story on Instagram and I see she was in California. And I was like, oh, I wish I could link up with you. I'm gonna be in Joshua's Tree. I would love to like work because the last time I didn't get all the photos because I was on a group trip. Anytime I go somewhere, I try to make sure, because I don't get to go as often, that when I go, I'm utilizing my time properly. Even if it's something small, I always think like, oh, I should wear this. This is a way for me to cross promote my brands. I could be journaling wearing Icon in this hotel that I paid $500 for, $600 for, $800, whatever, $200 for. This is making it make sense. This trip is a part of my business. This trip is going to help scale my business. If it doesn't make sense anymore, I don't do it. This is so funny. Thank you, God. The first time I worked with this photographer, I went to Miami for something a friend was doing. And it was like a perfect opportunity to get done what I was getting done. Any woman that was with us, I was just like, hey, do y'all mind wearing Icon? Like, that way when we're out, I could get some great photos. Like, everybody appears to be on board. I know exactly what I want to say, but I'm careful with how I say, because in my heart, sometimes in these situations, your mind and heart are at war, and it's like a tussle. Like, no, it meant this, but it meant this. In that shoot, I feel like it went well during the shoot. It went amazing. The photos were amazing. It was an aftermath. It was the aftermath of going to grab all the things myself. It was the aftermath of this friend that came to do this and we were all there, and she has a business. Hey, let's do this. That it turned out totally different. at the end. But that's what they say about Miami. And they like, girl, y'all might go to Miami, cool, and then you'll see what happens. A situation had expired, and what happened was something that was between two other people, a third person allowed that to make her feel some type of way, and it turned out to be something totally different. And all is well now, but I'm thinking about how that trip ended. But that was the opening of, yeah, that was the opening of realizing that less is more, even traveling. I like how I brought that back. You see, it's always gonna be like this, and it's gonna be like willed it in. Less is more when traveling. That's even when you packing, your makeup and your this and your that and your toiletries and this and this. I think maybe the only thing that you could go OD with packing is your toiletries, your body situation, your hair, makeup, not makeup, your products for your hair. Because if your hair fucked up on vacation, it's fucked up. Makeup, you don't really need that much. You're gonna get a tan. Ain't nothing a little oil can't fix. A little gloss, like you're good. But if your hair fucked up on vacation, the vacation's over. Like, girl, my hair's fucked up. I don't care. But it's showing me now that was the okay. Actually, that was the second thing, but we'll start there. That was the really like, yeah, no. So I'm gonna say that was the second. The first one, I went on a trip, a content trip, and because I love to create. I love scenarios. Like my niece is always like, you got a scenario for everything. I see it. If I hear a song, I envision the whole play, what the love interest would have been wearing, how the singer would have came in the house and slammed the door and put his keys on the counter. She's yelling, and it's, I envision all of these things when it comes to creating visuals. And I went on this beautiful trip, and everybody that's on this trip has a business. And we're all right, let's do this. Everybody's doing a ones and twos. Everybody's business is getting content. I'm filming, I'm editing. Everybody giving input after the fact, but it's, I'm putting the shit together. And I realized I was the only business out of that trip that did not get content. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just get the, hey, I'm about to open up this studio. I just need let's give the credit where, when somebody asks, like, let's say who did what. And I remember the trip was great. I remember getting back and seeing inquiries about, oh my God, the content is this. Who did it? All of us. Now, granted, it was an input, music, speed it up, cut this part out, put this in it. But I was in the middle of opening up a content studio. I help you create all this content. You could tell because the content don't even look the same as the content before. I realized at that moment, because I've had a dream of being like a director or putting this, this vision that I see to the outside, like putting it together, that I should have been getting content of me doing the content. That's the steps that people miss out on. That's something on a different topic, but I didn't make sure I got mine. I was banking on others giving me my flowers at that moment. When the opportunity presented itself, it was crickets. My ego, luckily, was already dying way before, so I don't think that it bothered me. No, I don't. It's not that I don't think. It didn't bother me then. It bothered me after, when I realized that on this trip, there was no reciprocity. Everybody's glass was full. My pitcher was empty. My pitcher was empty. Get it? I could be a rapper if I wanted to. My pitcher that I was pouring out of was empty. Or my pitcher was pitcherless because there was none of me and my endeavors and things that I was working on, and there was no credits at the, the trip was amazing though. It showed me that I in fact am a director. I in fact am, as like I see it. Let's do this. I've learned that from that. Although I didn't get what I needed in the physical, in my heart, I said, oh shit, that's nothing. Next thing up, content trip. Duh. Everything is always going to be a setup. Now you could think about a setup as you being set up, or you could think about a setup from the higher point of view saying, oh, this shit is setting me up for what's coming. This is giving me ideas of what I can now do. This is me saying, okay, I can teach other brands how to get the proper. Now, see, here's the thing. I did it for free. That's done. That don't mean I'm breaking back, but it just means, hey, I know my power, my influence with doing this. I've studied it. I mastered it. Now you can charge for it. So that second trip, the first trip, none of these trips, none of them, not one of them, did not teach me where I was going. Third trip, I go to Jamaica. I get invited with a group of a friend, an old friend, and because I'm sorry, I had to clear that up because I think a lot of times what we do, because we're just talking, you'd be like, yeah, my girlfriend, you're my friend, yeah, my this. Someone I was planning to do business with, that's even better because it wasn't a friend yet. We were in the midst of building a rapport, and we go to Jamaica. Beautiful, had a blast. So don't take me saying that not friend is not, whatever. What I'm saying is we just use these terms so lightly, and then it confuses your emotions. It confuses yourself because you're expecting this out of this and this out of this, but that ain't even what it's given. Excuse me. I went to this trip and it was beautiful. Beautiful. Of course, made some content. These young ladies have a traveling, they're travel agents. I love content. So, of course, I'm not overly doing it because I've learned from my mistakes. I'm just snapping a little bit. Not too much, baby, because I ain't here to work. Yeah. So I did not, because I am currently not in a state of tagging where I am and tagging who I'm working with and tagging all of these things. I think that sometimes people now, because they've been around for so long, they know that you're used to tagging this, and they see the growth or they see the expansion with other things. So they're in their mind, they're hoping like, oh, you know what? This is what it's gonna be for this. And they'll be like, oh girl, I already learned my lesson. So you not missed that buffet. The buffet stopped at 4. All you can eat stopped at 4. Now we moving differently. Now we see our value in it because, hey, wait, this is something that came so natural. I didn't know that people would take advantage of. So as I'm on this trip, I'm Jamaican. We in Jamaica. We smoke a little bit. A few of the young ladies were on my side with the smoking thing. And one young lady was very judgy. And this was the start of me seeing, okay, you're a little judgy. And I think we were all talking, conversing, and I was saying something. She was like, yeah, don't listen to her. She's high or something. And I was just thinking something, oh shit. Leave me alone, please. I don't want to go back. I don't want to talk about it again. Let's leave it closed. Let's leave it to rest. I'm gonna let it rest. Anyway. We're smoking, we talking, we just having a good time. She being judgy a little bit. It's okay. We get to this excursion situation. A bird, all in one day, all in a matter of hours. A bird pooped on me. A walnut fell off the tree as our tour guide was telling me to check into something about my ancestors. Mind you, this man knows nothing about me. I don't know him. He doesn't know what journey I'm on. This is a while ago. This is, damn. This is over a year ago. So he doesn't know any of these things, that the journey that I'm on, because I wasn't as deep into it. I just started. Third, I caught a mango from a tree that was so high up and you couldn't see anything. And they're like, somebody, you got to catch it. And the guy took his machete, and I just looked up and I put my hand down, and the fruit just fell right in my hand. And the tour guide just kept saying to me, oh, like, oh, you the one, huh? I'm looking and I'm like, the bird pooped on me. The walnut fell when he was telling me something about checking into something about my lineage. I caught this mango out of the tree that I could not see. I couldn't see where this was coming from. I literally and I caught it. And I knew that I was heavily protected and guided. And I knew at that moment, like, these are not signs. These are not coincidences. These are not, I'm dancing and I'm crying and I'm just enjoying my life. And I see the rainbow over top of us. Amazing, amazing communication from the other side. But I seen something. I seen something in a person that invited me. Now, mind you, this is a group trip. All of these at this point are group trips. That final group trip, I went on a month maybe after. I went to London. That's where we had a layover at. And the layover was beautiful. It was beautiful because it was two people. When we got to Greece, you ever see somebody in one way and then they get around a group of people, even if they're strangers, and they turn it on? I got to Greece and I was first of all, I had my own room. I need my own room. I know it might be cheaper to room board together, but I like my space. I get in moods sometimes where I don't want to talk. I just want to think, not in a negative, but just kind of just being quiet. A lot of people don't like silence because it's uncomfortable. But I got to Greece and, I wrote in my journal, set up my stuff. I was just thinking like, yo, how am I in Greece? Mind you, this is around the time that my son was home for a substantial amount of time. So even just going out of the country for so long, I think it was like 7 days or something, or 5 days. I don't know, 6 days. I was just there and I was very present. And it was funny because I was looking out my window and I see these two older women. And I'm not talking about like 50. I'm talking about 78, 60, 69, 68. Let's just say 68, 69 is just the number, just, where we could go with it. I don't want to talk about that. 68, 78, like these are older women, barely. Shout out to you, Miss Kim, but barely, when you look, you're like, I'm like, oh, listen, I packed these dresses that you don't wear panties with. I packed that shit. And I'm like, I'm not changing my outfits because these is older women. And also because I never got positive interactions with older women when I was younger. I never did. I don't know if I spoke about that before, but I always felt like they were judging. They were just kind of like, and a lot of our hearts mean well, but just that whole like they just treat younger women like you just can't do nothing right, or you just too much, or just whatever, have really weird experiences with older women. So when I seen the two older women, I'm like, all right, now I'm not changing my outfit. She gonna get what she get. And it was completely an opportunity for God to show me something different. I was the second youngest, or third, I'm sorry, maybe not the second youngest, the fourth youngest. I feel like three of them was in the same age group. And then I was like the one in my late 30s. And then everybody else was like 50, to 78. When I tell you the embrace of these older women, these were business owners. They were women that were retired. They were women that were confident and secure in themselves. They were not, if I was taking a picture, they was cheering me on. Like, shout out to, I can't, if I say one, should I already said one name, Kim. Shout out to those women that did not make me feel like I had to tone me down. That I had to shrink to make them feel better about themselves. That when I took a photo, they cheered me on. When the one lady kept saying to me, God's favor ain't fair. And I was just kind of like, fuck it, I'm going to just say names. Miss Sabrina. Damn, I need tissue. I got to start putting tissue right here. I had no intentions on crying about this. But when I think about the older Black woman that I want to be, that I am growing to be, I think about giving grace and being kind to women younger than me, because I know how it feels